Hello everyone and welcome to this Alien Isolation course. My name is Mr. Popo and we are Popo. In this lesson, we're going to be taking a look at references, why they are so important in every workflow of creatives, and why you should start using them and why everybody's talking about them. Well, first, references is a mean to have a visual understanding of how a particular thing look, work, and how others imagine it to be. For example, when you were young and you heard tree for the first time of your life, you had to have a reference of what your parents or your friends are talking about. So they show you a tree or they show you an image of a tree. So that's a reference. So you start to understand how a tree is. And then when someone shows you how they draw a tree, that's another reference. That's another perspective of how people see it. Now you have a word, you have a knowledge of how it sounds like, and you know how it looks like from real life, and you know how it looks like from a creative way. Now you can create a tree yourself because now you have enough references that you understand what you want to create. You have a clear visual understanding of what you want to create. Now that we know what a reference is, let's take a look at where we can find references and how we can use them. Now, before we jump into finding a reference, we need to understand what we're looking for. In our case, we're trying to look for a glitch. And we know by definition that a glitch is a minor malfunction or a misshape or a technical problem or a snag that happens when you are watching something or hearing something. So I went into Pinterest because of the range of visuals that I can get per second, and it saves me time. Now, when I open Pinterest and I put glitch and CRT. CRT comes up from the old TVs, and that's where most of the glitch happens. So I went into Pinterest and I put CRT and glitch, two words that I'm very interested in because I'm interested into real life glitches for this particular tutorial. Now, we can see that we have a lot of examples. Again, it's really good, but in the same time, you have to be very careful. One of the things that I have as a rule of thumb is that when I go into Pinterest or Behance, I try to avoid posts that are tutorial. Because when it comes into tutorial, I know that that is not real life. And it's not so true. So I keep on looking for things like this, analog, things that are really authentic to real life examples. So we have this, for example, we have this, and we have this. Now we have 3 already, and that's really good. It's more than enough. And then we start looking at more colors, of how colors are actually distorted or glitched. So we have this example. And then maybe I want to see how it actually looks like from a creative perspective, from someone who's gonna make this in After Effects or in another software. And we have this, for example. And that's pretty cool. And then we have these kind of styles, and then we have this. So now we have enough information of how a glitch look like. Here is a bunch of pictures that I chose to focus on during this, because one of the biggest problem while doing a reference is time consumption. There are so many amazing and beautiful references that sometimes you just keep on diving and diving and diving, and by the end of the day, you just wasted a lot of time for nothing. Because you already got what you wanted, and now you just wasted time that you were supposed to spend on something else. So always be careful to time the moment you start looking for references. So give yourself maximum 30 minutes. And when the time is up, that's it. Get your folder and start looking at them and start analyzing them. The reason I chose these particular pictures is not because they only look good, but it's because, one, in the first picture, I know exactly how a color distorts and how it leaks throughout the whole piece. 2, I can see the kind of particles, the kind of strokes and points that happens during a distortion. In the third picture, I can see how a text gets distorted and what kind of artifacts it creates. And on the last one, I see exactly the kind of texture that is from a CRT TV and how glowy it gets when you put a camera in front of it. Now that we have our references, let's take a look from another type of references, and that is, how did Creative Assembly create this alien isolation intro? Here we have an article from Art of the Title It's an interview that they did with the guys at Creative Assembly to see how they created the UI, the title sequence, and the intro as well. While reading through this very interesting article, you will see in where I highlighted that they went for the Vhs workflow. So basically you create whatever piece, motion graphics, intro, or anything that you want, you create it first, and then you take this piece and put it into VHS. And then from the VHS, you put it onto a CRT TV. Now you put a camera and you record whatever you're seeing from the VHS, not like recording the screen from the CRT, but you see exactly how you look at the CRT. That way you get real authentic texture, and when you distort something from the VHS, you get very realistic distortions and glitches. There is obviously way much more covered in the article, so I advise you guys to go and check it out and have a read on it by yourselves. I'll put the link in the description. Now that we have an understanding of how Creative Assembly did it and how a real glitch looked like and how designer glitch looked like, how about we take a look at one of the top notch of creative designers' work. For example, here's my favorite. His name is Clarke. He is one of the pioneers when it comes to real and authentic glitch effects. He's a heavy After Effects user as well, but he likes to keep it real. So for example, here's one of his recent works with Motion Plus Design. So you can see that everything looks so authentic, so real, and well done, because it is, in fact, real and authentic. So you can watch the video, but what I want to focus on is how really authentic it looks because of the workflow that he went through. So the first thing is he started creating whatever he needs to do in After Effects and Premiere Pro first. Once that's done, he takes it and uses a modulator here to change the references and distort it as his will when it's playing on the VHS. So he chooses where, when, how, what color to distort it with this device. Obviously you can buy this device, you can get it from Dream Weapon. Sometimes you have to get your hand dirty and get physical to get something very unique and extremely creative. That's all for me when it comes to this lesson. Now, for the next lesson, I need you guys to prepare 5 real glitches, 5 designer glitches, and 5 animated glitches, either using Pinterest, Behance, or Vimeo. I recommend that you create a folder and you create a category for each glitch references. And then when you're done, try to open a note and write, why did you like these references? Why did you choose them? Is it because of the color? Is it because of the blending? Or maybe the texture on top of them was so good? Or maybe the details? Moreover, maybe it's the animation that you liked. Try to type that in. Try to understand why you like something. You have to be able to understand it. Now, for the next lesson, we are gonna be taking a look of how to create these glitches using After Effects. I am so excited for the next lesson, and I hope you guys are too. Until then, my name is Mr. Popo, and I'll see you next time.